Hey, you guys. Welcome to April Readings of Loose Messages. If you're new here, please let me introduce myself. For returning viewers, your timer, like the timestamp, is in the description. But for my new viewers, thank you so much for being here. Before we get started, I tell everyone, I do not judge you. Whatever that comes through that the cards are telling me to tell you is to heal, and whoever's listening, including myself, it's for them as well in their own way. So really just take what resonates, let go what doesn't, and have fun and take notes, drink water, get comfy. So let's get started. Hi, thank you, Aquarius, for being here. Let's get started with your April messages. The weather's been really beautiful lately. It's just gonna get warmer and warmer. We already know that, but it's exciting. It's exciting. It feels like there's a lot of inspiration and motivation around. I think Aquarians walking into up until you see this video, it's been a learning process for you to work with others, to hear other people's opinions, to understand why and how other people work. It can be a little difficult because of how other people can be and how they can influence you by simply them being themselves. And then at the same time, it can be super enlightening and motivating. But there's been some sort of some sort of collaboration, or something has allowed you to really learn from other people, whether this be work or family. Something has allowed you to just have other people learn from you and you learn from them in an equal give and take. Have it all be a learning process somehow. Which is great, because April has been super draining for a lot of people. So it's good to know that Aquarians are kind of just taking the time to just learn how other people take and handle the hardships of life. With the Three of Wands and the Hermit here, I'm getting that you have the reason why you're like this, the reason why you don't partake so much in drama, the reason why you don't partake or get super distracted by how other people are, it's because you've been through the trenches yourself. You've finally gotten to a point where you've realized that, you know what, all I have is me, and maybe that's all I need. And I say maybe because of the Hermit here, but there's also people in your life, situations in your life that help you feed that belief within yourself and thinking, I do have me, and that's all I need, even though there's still some doubt there with the Hermit. But still, nonetheless, there's doubt there because of the trenches you've been through, Aquarius. It's not hard. It's been very difficult to reach this level of awareness of being able to see everything so clearly. It's been hard. But it feels like a new beginning somehow this month, with seeing how other people handle life or just lessons. You're learning how other people's hardships and how they handle it can teach you so much as well. And vice versa, there is a message from the universe with the Hermit telling me, like, there's still so much that you need to learn from yourself, though. We can be very good at looking at how we can learn from other people and be inspired by other people and have them teach us how to react or how we can act, you know, with hardships or with a lesson being presented, you know. It's good to learn how other people learn, you know, because then you learn from how they learn and then you learn yourself. The universe is saying, but do you know how you learn? How have you focused on how you are and how you talk, how you carry yourself? And perhaps so, I can see that with the Three of Wands, but there's still some more that you need to do. And how you can do it is by not getting all into the details of life. Not like, when I say details, it's like you're going through a lot of change, okay? You're going through a major change. That's a given here with the Wheel of Fortune. You're going through some sort of good change. It's not a bad change, but this good change can bring in contrast. And when I say contrast, take it as like the devil. As soon as you feel like you're on top of the world, as soon as you feel like you have the team you need, you know everything you need to know, you have the army and the slickness and the money, the everything. The moment you grasp that is the moment where you're faced with either a trigger within yourself, or someone or something comes in to teach you something. And it's very important, Aquarius, to know that when something comes in to teach you something, it's there to help you get to know yourself a bit more. It's not just to learn the lesson and then just move on, right? I was telling this to Libra. I would check out Libra's video if your sister sign, if you want to understand that point of view a bit more. But there's obviously some sort of really quick moving forward, or being obsessive with looking at how we did things once upon a time, or how we could have done things, or how we could do things. Like instead of being super obsessive about that, or instead of just brushing it under the rug and not wanting to face it, either way, first of all, that's there because life is so confusing. People can tell you they feel one way and then act a whole different way. People people or situations, or even yourself, you might feel a certain way and then find out that that's not how it was, you know. There's so much confusion. How do we know exactly who we are, what we think? It's like that right there, Aquarius, is a never-ending story. Never-ending story. Like, that's something that you'll never stop learning. That's life, you know. But are you taking the time, or are you rushing through, or are you just not taking the time at all? Like, it's how you go through your darkness within, how you do your shadow work, because you're so good at seeing other people's shadow, at learning how other people handle their shadow. You're really good at reading people. You are, Aquarius. You're tapped into the frequency of other people's minds, so you can easily tell where people are, and you can easily influence where people are by your word, and you know that. And that's why you've been really good at learning how other people are, taking the time, not really getting caught up in other people's ego, and not letting your ego get in the way, just letting it all flow to analyze, right? And it's helped you. Being this way has helped you, especially in the beginning of April. But it's like now April is asking you, there's a big change coming in, a good one, and you know it. And if you don't take the time to really know who you are, what you stand for, how you handle, when I say who you are, it's like if someone were to ask you, how do you handle your darkness? How do you handle your insecurities? You would be really good at answering it from the heart. That's you knowing who you are, you know? But if you're just like, I don't know, or laugh it off, or being very good at brushing it off, or overthinking it, and just being like, well, I don't know, and switching to different answers because you're just so like not one, there's not one answer that can define that. This month is a great month, a great time to channel how to handle that, how to figure out how to aid yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's what shadow work is. Shadow work isn't just to go in and see how fucked up you are. Shadow work isn't to be like, man, look at all of my mess ups. Look at how messed up I am. That's not shadow work. Shadow work is looking at all of that, not judging yourself, and if anything, learning to love yourself for it somehow. Imagine that. That's hard. For example, let's say someone's killed someone, you know? Let's say we have an Aquarius that has killed someone and feels super guilty, has learned so much, but is super confused of themselves and how they carry themselves, you know? Like, it doesn't mean, and there's this big change this month that's really good, or there's this big change coming ahead, or there has been a big change that's been good, right? That triggers you and makes you feel like, well, I don't know. Like I can see the future and I can see where it's going, but man, it still feels hard. It still feels like confusing. And it's because you are letting the world judge you when the world is you. So if the world judges you, it's your responsibility to look at the world and love it. How do you do that? You can't do that if you agree with the world, if you agree with all the bad stuff that people might have said to you, or you tell yourself because of society or because of trauma. You know, you have to forgive yourself. You have to understand that we won't ever know. Like, we won't ever clearly know what people's intentions are. But we can know our intentions. And yeah, maybe once upon a time, there was a time where we didn't know our intentions. We thought we did, but we didn't. You know, that was before though. It doesn't mean you're going to be like that forever. It's about moving forward. How are you taking care of yourself? How are you talking to all of those versions within yourself? How are you talking to all of them? Be like this person and have all these versions of yourself be like, okay, thank you, hallelujah, thank you for loving us. And all those versions of yourself are good and bad. What does that look like? How does that sound like? Rika, oh, never mind, sorry, baby. So yeah, it's like, what does that look like? Taking care of yourself, aiding yourself. What does that look like internally? Because I think you can take care of yourself outside. There's obviously some sort of good change that's coming in that is from the outside, you know? And it's causing a lot of confusion. How am I going to handle this? I haven't handled my battles before. I haven't handled coming home from war good before, because you're coming home from war. You've been home from war. And when I say war, I mean hardships, just that downward spiral. You came out of that. And let's just say that one of your paranoias do come true. It's like, there's this big change, it's really good, but I'm scared, I'm confused, I'm paranoid, I don't know what to trust. And then bam, something happens that it's like, well, that's why I was so confused, that blah, 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 blah. You know? How are you going to handle, regardless of that, How are you handling the after effect, the aftercare? Because I think you do have a good team. I think your team, whether it be home, whether it be work, whether anything, friends, I think you have a great way of balancing yourself, but it's you. You're the one who chooses not to see the celebration of coming out of an ugly moment to move forward. It's like you get stuck. It's like, and with this big change, it's hard for you to move forward with it because it's like that stuck energy comes in. It's like that feeling of like, well, is there going to be a war soon? It's like, no, especially if you learn how to take care of all of those versions within yourself. The versions that are scared, the versions that talk shit, the versions that are evil, How are you taking care of them? How are you harnessing them? How are you showing them that there's a bigger picture here? And I think I've been talking to all of the air signs today about faith. What does faith look like for you? Not religiously, even though it can be. Because God, they say God is love and your heart is love. So at the end of the day, how much faith do you have in your heart? How much faith do you have in God? That is the big question for you this month, Aquarius. How much faith do you have in God? How much faith do you have in your heart? Because I think you haven't been asking yourself that enough. Because maybe once upon a time when life got really hard, it's like your faith wasn't enough. But what was different before then compared to now is that then we only use the faith when it was hard. But things are going good now. Things are going really good right now, and it's a great way to channel your faith. Okay, let's get one more card here to kind of overall give us some advice here for you, Aquarius, for April. Also, I'm getting that there might be some new opportunities, or there might be new emotions being offered or new emotions being felt. And you don't know if those emotions are right or wrong, or if those opportunities are right or wrong, or if that person really is a good person or not. The message with that confusion, with just not knowing, is once again faith. Does it make you feel good? Do you want to take it? Just learning to be patient with yourself. You're allowed to do that. And I think for the longest time, you thought it was just unimportant to really take your time and slow down. And it's because you're Aquarius. You're just so quick with your mind. It's in your sign. It's like a given, right? But let's get one more card here. Wow. For the advice, the Hanged Man. This man has hung himself backwards to become enlightened, to see the world in a new way enough to become enlightened. The universe is saying you need to do something. Something's calling you to put yourself out there in a new get yourself out of your comfort zone. Something is coming in and it's making you feel out of your comfort zone. Allow it, dive into it, relish in it, and watch you become enlightened because of it. What does enlightened mean? Enlightened is being able to just finally understand why things happen the way they happen. Having no confusion. Just being able to just be like, okay, that's why. Just knowing. Having the answers come in easily because you're putting yourself in a whole new perspective rather than your old perspective that's kept you stuck, that's kept you confused, Whatever is calling you to put yourself out of your comfort zone, do it. As long as it is for you, not for another person. It's for you. Okay? I mean, and if it is for another person as well, then that's okay. But primarily yourself here, so that you can finally have that clear conversation with yourself, so with your heart, to where you're like, oh, that's what I need to let go, or that's what I need to think, that's what I need to feel, that's what I need to do, that's what I need to do to make me love myself. Oh, that's what I need to do to really get out of this fight or flight mode. That's what I need to do or think or say to finally forgive and let go, to trust, to trust. I'm thinking about making 3-minute videos on TikTok as a bonus. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments below. But other than that, I really hope this helped, Aquarius. I will be talking to you guys soon. A like, a comment, or a subscription would really, really help and motivate me. So I appreciate you. But other than that, you are loved. You are not judged. And I hope you have a great April.